sisters in Christ and whoever watches this video. It finally arrived, the second edition that I laid out better and corrected some things from the text. So Love Your Enemy, that is a short historical novel, and as it says, it's a historical short novel about the French Napoleonic War. Romance and adventure, death and destruction, destiny is written. Amen. So I believe it's quite good, the quality. And, and the text is cream colored, right? Because it's much better. I do believe it's much better, more elegant. It's 117 pages like the other one. I put the price down, so instead of $17, it's $13. That I believe it's 11 euros with 44 cents. And I will read you, if I can, because I have my other hand over there. Wait a moment. It's on Amazon, and I will write to you the dedication. So I dedicate this novel to Renee Nicole Good and Alex Jeffrey Pretty, brutally murdered by ICE, and to all the other victims of violations of fundamental human rights worldwide, like Nurul Amin. History repeats itself, unfortunately. I documented a lot to write it. I spent 2 months in the public library and also in the newspaper archive. I finished writing it in Tarragona City in December the 17th, 2007. You see, this is a lot of books I wrote in French, Spanish, and Catalan. In this case, because I read and speak in French too. Amen. So I will read because I don't want to make a very long video. I just wanted to tell you that it's on Amazon.com, and if you're in the UK, Amazon.uk, whatever you are, you search on Amazon, so it should be there. In English, I have this one, Love Your Enemy, and Amazing Grace, and then I have 2 other ones in Spanish, and I have one in Catalan. So far, I also write in Italian, although I know other languages like Portuguese and so on and so forth. I don't write in all of them because, to write and translate, you have to have a proficiency in that language. Amen. Wow. So, author's epilogue. This humble short historical novel was written by hand in 2007, published in Catalan, the language I originally wrote it, in 2010, and translated into Spanish in 2012 or 2012. Because it's hardcover. I believe hardcover is so much more elegant, and long-lasting. That's why, right? Maybe it's not so, practical, but it's meant to last. I believe this is not only to read, but to last and to store it afterwards and reread it, whatever. So after many years, I have decided to publish it again, this time in both Spanish, Catalan, and English on Amazon. The reason is to share it worldwide. Many write for money. I write because I could not live without doing so, or neither reading. I put my soul into it. I want to clarify, though, that I have tried to be as faithful to the epoch as possible. I left some Catalan names on purpose and wrote others in French for the same reason. Please put everything into context. They did not think the same nor acted the same as we do. They had other way of doing things, but as you have read, the main issues remain the same. I use archaic language on purpose too. I hope you are blessed by reading it and makes you meditate on the fullness of word. And it's very, very, of actuality, because right now we have a work going on, right? So I think this novel is also prophetic, because it's a historical one, but unfortunately it's right now in the news. Balance and hatred. When people love the other as himself, the wars will end, but humankind has proven unable to do so. It is also a love story, of course, Romeo and Juliet. Sorry about that. But style. But not only that. Finally, I want to challenge you to find two prophetic verses that I put into the book. One is past, the other takes place during the story. Yes, I had some hidden symbols as well, and so on and so forth. But by the way, this short novel contains symbols, details, metaphors. If you read it again, you will notice them better. It is not only a historical novel or a romantic and adventure action story, right? It's also to meditate on it, has other meanings, like the prophetic dreams Daisy has, that's the main character, and so on, right? The main message is clear based on 1 Corinthians 13. I am a descendant of General Viscount Paul Francois Jean Nicole Barras, but renounce to it. I prefer to be beside the masses because to God every life counts the same, no matter if someone is rich, poor, woman, man, black or white. We all have the same rights and responsibilities. 1 Corinthians 1:26-31 is my motto. Yeah, because sorry about that, but I had just I don't know if you could see it, but I just received a message. Okay, and yes, I was here. Yes, and the motto is that God chooses the meanest things of this world. What this world mocks is almost all the puzzles were fishermen. Amen. So how great is our God? Also Romans 8:28. Everything is for our well-being. I have trouble quite so, although we don't understand it right now, but He always does it for our best, right? God knows better. And it has surprised me to see people blinded by prejudices in all the countries I have lived. The native detest the outsiders. Wow, and that is so true. Must be the Neanderthal gene. I find this disturbing. It looks like humans do not change for the better, neither learn past lessons. This is why this novel is topical, as nowadays there is an imperialist pretender that thinks he is a kind of God, sorry, but I can see well. I would nearer. But I see him more like a dangerous apprentice of dictators such as AH. You know who I am referring to. Amen. I hope I enrich your soul with this humble book. Work. Female abuse is also as old as the world. Oh, yes. And I will conclude by saying that I documented profusely to write this. I used to live in Targon, and there is also my daughter was born. Amen. The places I describe, I know them by heart. Also, the descendants of Cassie are now the counts. I know them personally. I could visit their house. Amen. And almost all the characters are historical. Daisy is not. Originally, she was named Margarita, but as she is my dearest one, I wanted her to stand out. This is why I changed her name into English language. I do not have a Spanish keyboard, so the answers and letters exclusive of that language are lacking. Please excuse me for this. Yes, because as I say, I have not. I'm not professional in this case. I mean, I can write, but laying out is not my issue. And in the past, I published with traditional publishing companies, so they do that. But as it is this time, I put it on Amazon, so I did my best, right, with the help of my son Kyle that just messaged me because we're in contact, although we live far away. And he's as to say, my secretary, amen. So he does the part of the technology part. Well, you can read it as just as a history book, but my intention in writing it was to share a deeper message and also learn from the past. Thank you for reading this, and I may say that I have written other things like children's tales, short stories, but what pleases me the most is poetry. Yes, poetry is pure emotion and pure expression. It is language in its purest dimension. I can pour my heart, soul, and spirit in it so nicely. I prefer to concentrate the meaning than to expand it to just fill more pages. That is very fashionable nowadays. Like those, I don't say that's bad, right? I myself read some of them, but sometimes, unless it's very, very good, such long novels tire me a lot. Writing is not that. It is not to express your inner self. I also have written diaries, biographies, studies, mostly in Catalan. It's because I began in Catalan. Then I passed to write more in Spanish, French, English, and Italian. It is a way of life as being Christian. You cannot take it out of you. It is a part of you. It is the only thing that I will miss in heaven. That's it. Books, because I love books. Well, of course, not all books, right? The ones that please God. So if you like it, I am paid. I write to be read, sorry, share and reach others. I read to learn and read and be blessed by it. For the first time, I published on Amazon with the emotion of being able to be read worldwide. I imagine an Indian scrolling on his or her phone and buying my book. Yes, I imagine that, and I really is so funny. Awesome, simply amazing. Until next time, God willing. And finally, finally is a long video, sorry about that. But finally, just to give you a taste of it, I will just read you the first page, for example. Love your enemy with San Perez. First chapter, or chapter number 1. Charming, that is the word. She's beautiful all over. Her curly hair, her caramel eyes, her rosy cheeks, her plump lips, her slender neck, her graceful body, her breast exulting with life, a young and tasty gazelle ready to be hunted. The mirror reflects hope for the uncertain future. It is September 23rd, 1810, and with the help of her mother, she slips into the dress chosen for this special occasion. Her heart beats so loudly that if it could be heard, it would drown out the sound of the bells. True to her calling, she hurries to Mass. She runs downstairs and puts on her finishing touches before disappearing into the bustle of the street. The Archbishop, I think I pronounced it correct, Romualdo Mon Ambalarde, presides today the celebration of the martyrology of the saint and patron of the city, Saint Thecla, Virgin and Martyr. She was disciple of St. Paul, as the Acta Pauli et Theclae attest, and she is venerated not only in Tarragona but also in many other geographically distant places, such as Syria and Jordan, among the Muslims themselves, in accordance with the Quran, as a testament to their courageous and risky journeys. Let's put into context that Tarragona in these years, they had no Protestant, they weren't in existence, they were only Catholics mostly, so, and just, had a long tradition, because in Spain, the Muslims dominated for 800 years, so they had some, and, so there was the memory of this. She was an exemplary woman and dressed as a young man. She got rid of a magistrate who was pursuing her. She chose Jesus, and the rejected man repaid her by condemning her to the beasts of the amphitheater. Because the pages, I wanted them to be nice, so it's a little difficult to puzzle. Her mother, Marie Antoinette de Camps-Enfants, has already warned her of the danger of rejecting a man, although she has also confessed that the fate of a pretty girl is often tragic. Where does she get so much wisdom, considering she's a wonderful mother but not an attractive wife? Undoubtedly, young Daisy's gentle appearance has been inherited from her father, Jose Antonio de Castellano Magria. Yeah, I don't want to injure, the cover. That's why I'm very careful with the for example, the Bible. Yes, I underline, but with a pencil, right? But that's me. I'm like that. I respect books, so mine or others. So I was here, yes, and she's proud of her dearest parents. Yes, because I was reading without this. Yes. His father is the Port Treasurer, as well as being a Knight of the Order of the Beloved King Charles III. Her mother is a cultural lady of excellent lineage. This is best friend Marie Antoinette Terranagalo, daughter of some respectable people from Tarragona, is waiting for her in front of the main door of the cathedral. "You took so long," she complains, but her smile betrays her deep affection. "Forgive me, it is just that this dress is so tight that I can hardly slip into it." You, with how thin you are, I can't even find one I like. I'm so jealous. The two girls laugh heartily. Both are virgins and pure marriageable young women of high birth. Is there any news? Asks Maria Antonia. Not as far as I know. My father is not worried, she lies, so as not to upset her extremely sensitive companion. The two have known each other since they were little, and although Maria Antonia is older, they're completely inseparable. Well, I will leave it here, but I can assure that it gets better, right? Begins with Daisy that goes to the cathedral, to the mass, and after they things happen, Tarragon is attacked, then the Napoleonic War. She gets in love with a French enemy soldier, and that is a mess because her family, you know, uh, wouldn't accept it, and well, and I will not say anymore, so I will not spoil it, right? So, well, I hope that it blesses everybody that reads it. I will not be able to do as I did with Amazing Grace, the poems, because in this case it's so long. Imagine I took, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe, or just to read 2 pages, can be 2 pages. Yeah, 2 pages. Imagine reading 117. I should have to do it in several videos, not only one, perhaps. I don't know. Sorry, maybe one video for each chapter, let's say, or 7 in total. Wow. So I don't think I will do that, but I hope that this little taste helps you to have an idea of what is. Maybe I will read finally to a little bit, just a taste of it, although you will not have the context. But for example, here she says, she dreams that a wolf is chasing her. He's someone that knows her, close to her. This is why she's not too scared. When she's unaware, he jumps over her, and she wakes up screaming, "Darling, you had a nightmare. What is the matter? Nothing. It is too much excitement. I have to take it all at once. The war, the wedding, it is too much for me. Of course I do understand it. Marie Antoinette comes on phone does not doubt her daughter, but in reality her instinct warns her that something is not working. She wishes she was wrong. She does not know what it is, but senses that things will never be the same again, and not only because of the war. And finally, I will read, for example, the Tarragon's port works remain paralyzed for months now. As the French say, ne pas joindre le deux bouts, what it means that there are no resources left. They are in a crisis, not only moral but also pecuniary. Although the Tarragon Mint produced quite a few batches of gold, silver, and bronze coins in 1809, another moment is in process of the issuance of the new series of Paris ballots in large quantities. Of course, the French have melted down the coins where King Ferdinando VII appears, has been captured in Balansai. This is a broken C, but I don't have it on the keyboard, so I couldn't put it. I did my best, but apart from these details, everything is correct. They have only left his countenance, where his royal title and coat of arms are not shown, and his name appears everywhere in them. Tara has become, given her maritime position, a refuge and mainstay of the national armies before being conquered by Napoleon's forces. The Bastion of St. Paul, facing the sea, was built to defend the Mediterranean city. And, well, I suppose this will be just a taste because it has a little of everything, of course. Lots of history, and everything that appears here is historical and perfectly provable in the books that are at the bottom of the novel, right? And voila, and I will leave it like this because whoa, almost 20 minutes of that. Wow. So You see, this is very nice. You know, the hardcover is so nice. I just so much prefer it. Amen. So a little like this. You see, it's very nice. Well then, I hope you're blessed by this shirt. And excuse me my accent. I know that I used to have a perfect Scottish accent, but now it's been so many years, like 30 years, that I have been traveling several other countries. But amen. So thank you for listening to me, and please excuse my accent. But in spite of the messenger, just take the message. Amen. So God bless you all, and God willing, till next time, Shalom.